today we're going to go ahead and do movie line Jetstorm. So let's just go ahead and get into them. Okay, obviously this guy is based off of the Cybertron Jetfire mold. It is the second repaint. The first was, I believe, Dreadwing or Overcast. Sky Shadow was the first repaint of this guy, and then we have this. And I've got to say that despite this being a Decepticon, this is my favorite version of it so far. I can't tell on the viewfinder, it makes him look more tan. It might just be that my settings are off. Anyway, very good looking figure. In person, it's a lot closer to being just a very barely off-white than it is to the gray it seems to look in pictures. Combine the whiteness of it with the red stripe going down the side, the red highlights back here, the red plastic. It is a very G1-esque Jetfire paint scheme, in the plain mode at least. This figure does have some light and sound features. If you press on the front of the jets, the rear lights up, and I guess in some other universe that's what a jet sounds like. Just for size comparison, here he is next to the Classics Jetfire. And as you can see, he looks a lot smaller from the front and from the side. He is nearly the same length. Well, no, not really. He's a good 2.5 inches shorter. But fold this up. So this is a fairly good-sized jet mode. And I'm sorry, I cannot remember your name right now, but someone wanted me to point out that you could actually put Classics Astro Train on top of this guy and have, like, whenever they're flying the space shuttle back from wherever it is it lands back to Cape Canaveral. So I just thought that was neat. Throw that out there. Be neat if it had some sort of way of pegging on right there, but it don't. Oh yeah, you can see the head. To start the transformation and just to show his cyber key power, you take a cyber key right here, flip his tail over, push this in, and this gun kind of pops up, kind of like on Primus's arm cannons. It pops up the same way, and the barrels extend the same way, so you can get that out of here for now. Now you push the front of the jets, which are now the rears, and it does that. So anyway, next step in the transformation is underneath of them right here. You just take and pull these down to form the legs. And they'll turn either way, but there is a front and a back. The back has more screws visible. Take right here his feet and flip them out, and his feet are painted. The first time I went to take his feet out, they were very difficult to come out, but that problem is fixed now. I guess that the paint hadn't cured all the way whenever mine was packaged up. So right there, you got his legs down. Take the jets from underneath, drop them down, then slide them forward on the tube that they ride on. The back end of the jets that his arms are on folds down. And whenever you straighten his arms, those things just don't hold on for nothing. Whenever you straighten his arms out, his hands start to pop out, and then you can grab the front of them and just finish pulling them out. And now that you have them right here, you can go ahead and give him his guns, kind of straighten all this out, and he has an unofficial Gerwalk mode, which I don't know if anybody's covered that. I'm sure it has been, but I like that a lot. The Gerwalk mode was my favorite part of the original Jetfire, and I really didn't know that this guy could be set up so well in one. But anyway, let's go ahead and finish giving him his real transformation. What you're going to do is come down underneath right here, and the hips pivot back. And it's not going to come to a full 90 right here. You don't want it to, because if you do that, then his chest won't be able to clip into place correctly. You're going to take the front of the jet, pull this down, peg the front of the hips into the underside of the cockpit, and whenever you do that, let's see if I can zoom in right here. Whenever you zoom in, these little rocket pods pop out of the side of his chest. Once you get him to right there, it's just a matter of picking up his head and just, you know, replacing anything you might have bumped out of position, and homeboy is transformed. And there he is once again next to Classic's Jetfire, and he's only about an inch taller than Classic's, but because of the way his wings are done, he looks enormous next to him, just because of how broad he is, especially with his wings. Now, get this guy out of the way, and I'm going to get into my gripes about this figure, because I've got no gripe about the jet mode whatsoever. The robot mode, though, his arm, his shoulders, you see the loose gun again. Because of the backpack and all the electronics in it, he's a tad bit back heavy. It's not as bad as on some figures, but like this right here, he's bounced on his heel spurs. To be able to stand him straight, there is no weight on the front of his feet. So the guns really help him stand. Back to his shoulders. They can go in and out, but if you want to have him turn his arm up, the wings are what allow him to reposition his arms. So that kind of spoils it, because I like the look of this in the wings, but not so much the look of that in the wings. You can get him to look decent just posed like this, and I kind of like the way he looks with a steeper V like that, but this right here, you know, it's all in personal taste. His chest is hollow, so don't display him from the side. But and the last gripe, the last big gripe, is all the plastic, all the purple that you see, none of it is molded in color. It's all painted, and it seems to be an unusually easy to scratch paint. I mean, I've got a big old line on this bicep that's no longer purple. It's the gray that's underneath. And the other thing is his gimmick just fails in this mode. You'd think there'd be some way to pop it up over his shoulders. No. What you do is you bend him over, and that is how he does his cyber key power in robot mode. So anyway, robot mode for this guy is going to get a 9. Only losing points because of the fact that his guns don't hang on to him. The robot mode, I'm going to have to only give this robot mode a 6, because even though it looks very good in some, like this pose right here, just a very static pose, you can really not get him into any kind of dynamic pose whatsoever, because he just can't do anything with his shoulders. I mean, you can, but it doesn't look good. That and the back heaviness of it. But if you don't have the mold, I waited this long to get one, and the only reason I got it was for the jet mode. I'll be honest with you, this is one that will be displayed in alt mode. So, y'all have a good day, and take care.